Namaskar. My dear friends, I have been receiving certain queries relating to Section 43B subclass H, which was introduced by Finance Act 2023. As per this clause, any sum payable by the SSC to micro or small enterprises beyond the time limit specified in Section 15 of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006 shall be allowed only in computing the income referred to in section 28 of that previous year in which the sum is actually paid by him, irrespective of the previous year in which the liability to pay such sum was incurred by the SSC according to the method of accounting regularly employed by the SSC. Now a question arises, which is micro and which is small enterprises? As per section 7 of the MSME Act 2006, wide notification dated 26th June 2020, micro, small and medium enterprises are defined by applying the composite criteria of investment and turnover. Now, what is micro enterprises? Where the net investment in plant and machinery or equipment does not exceed 1 crore and net turnover does not exceed 5 crore. What is small enterprises? Small enterprises where net investment in plant and machinery or equipment does not exceed 10 crore and net turnover does not exceed 50 crore. In addition to these criteria, the enterprises must be registered with Udyam. Now coming to the disallowance under section 43BH. The disallowance under section 43BH shall be made if the sum payable to the micro and small enterprises is not paid within the limitation period in section 15 of the MSME Act. Section 15 provides for the limitation. Number 1. On or before the date and agreed upon in writing between the parties which shall not exceed 45 days. If there is a written agreement between the buyer and the seller, the limitation will be 45 days. And where there is no agreement, the limitation period will be 15 days from the date of acceptance of goods or services. The deduction will be allowed on a payment basis in the year in which the actual payment is made under section 43B. Other clauses of section 43B allow a deduction of year-end outstanding on an accrual basis if the payment is made on or before the due date of filing of return. In contrast, the deduction under section 43B subclause H shall be only if it is paid on or before the time allowed by section 15 of the MSME Act. Now, the fourth position emerges from the plain reading of section 43B subclass H. Number 1. Sum already paid during the year beyond the limitation period of section 15 shall be allowed on a payment basis in the year in which it is paid. Suppose any amount is due during the financial year 23-24 and it is paid in the same financial year 23-24. It will be allowed on a payment basis, irrespective of the fact the limitation period has been expired or it is beyond the limitation period. Number 2, where the amount outstanding at the year end is paid in the next financial year within the time limit stipulated by section 15 of the MSME Act, the deduction will be allowed in a current year on an accrual basis. Suppose any payment is paid in the next financial year, that is 24-25, but within the time limit stipulated in section 15 of the MSME Act, then the deduction will be allowed in a current year, that is 23-24 on an accrual basis. Third point, where the due date of the payment of the amount outstanding at the year end has exceeded the limitation period of section 15 of the MSME Act, such amount shall be disallowed while computing the business income. Fourth position, where the amount outstanding at the year end is paid next year but beyond the limitation period of 15 of the MSMED Act, such amount shall be allowed while computing the business income in the next financial year on an actual payment basis. Suppose any amount outstanding at the year end but paid beyond the limitation period in next year, that is in a financial year 24-25, then it will be allowed in a financial year 24-25 and not in a financial year 23-24 on a payment basis. Section 43BH applies from financial year 14-24, that is assessment year 24-25, but it does not apply to the following payments. Which payments? Any sum outstanding on 31st March 23 and paid in the financial year 23-24 beyond the period allowed under section 15 of the MSME Act should not be hit by this provision. Point number 2, it should not apply to the payment which are capitalized in the books of accounts and are not charged to profit or loss account. Third, payment made to the supplier who are traders. Point number 4, payment made to medium enterprises. All these 4 payments are not hit by 43BH. Now coming to the point of interest paid under section 23 of MSME Act 2006. Section 43BH overrides any other provision in the Income Tax Act, but it does not override the provision of other acts like MSME Act. Therefore, the provision of section 43BH are in addition to the provision of section 23 of the MSME Act 2006. Now, what section 23 of MSME Act says? Notwithstanding anything contained in the Income Tax Act, the amount of interest payable or paid by a buyer under or in accordance with the provision of this Act shall not, for the purpose of computation of income under the Income Tax 1961, be allowed as deduction. Hence, any interest paid by the buyer to the seller under section 23 of the MSME Act 2006 will not be allowed as expenditure, and this interest will be disallowed while computing the income of the assessee. I hope this small video must have resolved your queries. Thanks for watching.